γνωρίζετε την ιστορία. Όσοι δεν την γνωρίζουν θα τα πούμε ξανά, γιατί είναι ενδιαφέρουσα.
Και σας ευχαριστούμε όλους για την παρουσία σας.
Λοιπόν,
Thank you, David.
Βλέπω το ζωντανό πρόγραμμα.
καλωσορίσετε στο Θέατρο Technis και την απόψε την 38 χρόνια είναι πολλά χρόνια. Κάθε χρόνο ελπίζουμε ότι κάτι θα γίνει και τίποτα δεν γίνεται. Ξέρουμε ποιος φταίει. Έγινε ένα έγκλημα στην Κύπρο, το οποίο έμεινε ατιμόρυτο. Και είναι μεγάλες δυνάμεις, Αμερική, Αγγλία, που έλαβαν μέρος σε αυτό το έγκλημα και δεν θέλουν να βάλουν πίεση να λυθεί στην Τουρκία. Και όμως δεν λύεται το πρόβλημα εάν δεν αναγκαστεί η Τουρκία να το λύσει. Ως Κύπροι είμαστε λαός υπομονητικός, πάντοτε υποφέρουμε, αλλά πολλές φορές είναι ανάγκη και η οργή. Είναι ανάγκη να θυμώσουμε, to be angry really and say we had enough. You know, how long? Σε 2 χρόνια θα έχουμε 40 χρόνια. Πρέπει πριν να φτάσουμε τα 40 χρόνια να γίνει αυτό που όλοι ποθούμε. Μια Κύπρος ανεξάρτητη για όλους τους Κύπρους. Αυτό είναι το message το οποίο είχαμε κατά τη διάρκεια των 38 χρόνων. Κυβερνήσεις μπαίνουν, κυβερνήσεις φεύγουν και τα ίδια λόγια λέγουν. Δεν πρόκειται να επαναλάβω τα πράγματα τα οποία όλοι ξέρουμε. Αλλά όμως είναι ανάγκη να πούμε ότι αν δεν τιμωρηθεί η Τουρκία, ότι πρέπει να αρχίσουν πλέον, ότι πρέπει στο Διεθνές Δικαστήριο Εγκλήματος να παρουσιαστεί η Τουρκία και όλοι οι συνεργάτες της. Αυτό δεν είναι εύκολο να πραγματοποιηθεί. Όμως γιατί όχι. Human race is moving forward. We have to establish an international code of justice, Arios Paus, where it is arbitrary, above self-interest, but judge things objectively, otherwise human rights cannot go forward. We cannot let Turkey get away with the murder that was committed in Cyprus. 1/3 of the island has been occupied for 38 years. Women were raped, people were killed, people lost their homes, settlers came and lived in their homes. Even our compatriot Turkish Cypriots, they should feel uncomfortable living in the Greek Cypriot homes that they were forced, the Greek Cypriots, to abandon by brutal force. What do we do? Is the International Court of Justice, European Court of Justice, the United Nations, where we know the United Nations has never been what it ought to be. But we got to really work in that direction. So far we accept that we have to appease Turkey, we have to really make it understand that we are not able to fight her, but we are willing to make some compromises. We already made compromises. The partition of Cyprus under the title by zonal, by communal, is what the biggest compromise we did. We have accepted that, which was the biggest mistake we did, I think. But by zonal, by communal, the Turkish government always interpreted that as two separate states. We have no illusion that was the moment we accepted the concept of bizonal, bicommunal. It was in their mind two separate small states, which we fight, we oppose, and we shall oppose as long as Cyprus exists, because that's the end of the small island of the Republic of Cyprus, which we have accepted, you know, the reluctant Republic of Cyprus. We accepted it because we wanted something different. Greek Cypriots wanted at that time something different. And we accepted that as a compromise, the Republic of Cyprus. But it has proved to be that it was the right solution. The Republic of Cyprus, it was, although it was conceived by the Americans to avoid the conflict among the members of NATO, Greece and Turkey, but in the long run, looking back, it was a right decision. The moment they realized that the Republic of Cyprus could not toe the line, then they decided to dissolve it. And that's where we had the accession plan in 1963, 64, which meant union with Greece and give Turkey a huge base in Cyprus, which would have been American basis. Makarios objected to that, and I think rightly he did the right decision not to accept that. But as a result of that, he became the number one enemy of the United States, and the persecution against him, plans of assassination, we all know that. It's history. So how do we achieve that dream? One unified Republic of Cyprus. By telling our children, our great-grandchildren, that they must never give up. We pass the torch to them. As long as we exist and shall exist, we shall never accept any other solution but that. and should work now. We have now well-educated Cypriots all over the world, lawyers and others who can know the law, how to put a case better than we do. A crime was committed. I'm doing now Oedipus Tyrannos by Sophocles. And when a plague started in Athens, at that time when Oedipus became a king, after marrying his mother and killing his father without knowing him, the oracle said that this sort of thing will never end until the murderer is found. And we know who is the murderer in Cyprus. And that murderer has to be punished by international justice, not by guns and not by international justice. And this is what we've been doing here at Theatro Technis. Some of you don't know the history of the flag. We raise the flag today. You may ask justly, why at Theatro Technis? Why raise the flag at the Theatro Technis? There is a huge Cypriot community, 300,000. Why raise it at Theatro Technis? Because Theatro Technis happened in the 50s and 60s to organize the first Cyprus Week in Camden. As you all are aware, in the 50s there was the Elga uprising, and every time there was an English soldier killed in Litra, or in Nicosia, there were slogans all over Camden, because the Cypriots lived in Camden, the majority. Cyps go home, bloody terrorists. On the walls. So we thought, how can we counteract this? And we thought the idea of the festival, Cyprus Week Festival, that will show the host community who the Cypriots are, why they came to Britain, what is their contribution apart from work and labor, that they had a history of 5,000 years, that they had a culture and hospitality that was a traditional aspect of the Cypriot life. And through theater, through films, through poetry, through social activities, to get to know the Cypriots and find out that they were not terrorists and find out why they were fighting in Cyprus. And this continued till 1974, after the Greek Junta coup and the Turkish invasion and occupation of the island. We said the emphasis now would change. We have the festival, but tell the world what happened in Cyprus. And so we carry on since 1974, and then of course the National Federation of Cyprus was formed, and we were one of the founding members. And in the 80s, Camden was very supportive, and the council suggested rather, it was their own initiative, one of the councillors suggested that we should raise the Cyprus flag at the town hall. Kyriakos remembered that. And he felt very proud every time he passed outside the town hall and saw the Cypriot flag at the town hall. We had Turkish Cypriot because we were one of the first groups in London that we have links with Turkish Cypriot. They were the Turkish Cypriot students, IKTOF, who join us in our efforts for a unified Cyprus. They are young people with broad ideas, and they condemn the occupation. So they join us, and when we raise a flag, nobody objected. They all praised the idea, because as you know, the Cyprus flag was designed by Turkish Cyprus. Am I right? Kyriakos?
Is that right?
Yes. So we carry on raising the flag from 1982, David, till 1989. You remember the year 1990? I forgot your name, sorry. Panagiotis. 89. That was a very, very, very hard year for us. A Turkish Cypriot came from south of London to participate in the ad hoc organizing committee for the festival, Cyprus Week. And he objected to raising the flag at the town hall, saying that it does not represent the Turkish Cypriots. It was, of course, after when the Dutch declared the Turkish federal state, and they had their own flag. I said, what are you doing here? I mean, here we are working for a unified Cyprus, and this flag is the symbol of that unity. We are working for the unity of Cyprus. He was adamant. That year, a councillor who was very friendly to us, his wife is a Greek Cypriot, became the chair of the grand subcommittees. At that time, we used to get about £105,000 from Camden alone. We had 11 workers, we had the lunch club, we had the advisory service, we had the theater for young people, for children, for women, for adults, for classical theater. It was flourishing. It was the golden decade of Theatro Technis. So that councillor became the chair of the Grand Subcommittee, and he said, George, I want to get involved with the Cyprus Week to put some more money so we can have a more impact. I said, okay, come in, Graham. When that issue arose, raising the flag at the town hall, he said, come on, George, let's forget about the piece of cloth. I said, it's not a piece of cloth. It's a symbol of the Republic of Cyprus, which is recognized internationally. The fact that Turkey invaded and occupied 1/3 of the island doesn't diminish the value of that symbol. He was adamant. I took him to meet the leaders of the community. It was Dr. Kavibis, the late Dr. Kavibis, the president of the National Federation, the High Commissioner, Mr. Vanagidis, was there at that time. And they told him exactly the same thing. He said, had it not been raised before, it would have been no problem not raising it now. But because it's been raised, not raising it, because a Turkish Cypriot says so, it will create an uproar in the Cypriot community, and it has international significance. He was adamant, and he gathered a group of youngsters, who some of them were involved, Greek Cypriots and Turkish Cypriots, to debate the issue and take a decision whether we raise the flag at the town hall or not. And of course, the youngsters didn't have the responsibility or didn't care enough. They said, let's not raise it at the town hall. So then I said, we have no other option but to raise it outside Theatro Technis. As a result of that decision, Graham Shuri, that is the name of the councillor, instructed his officer to write a report against us, that we were autocrats, that we were in decline, and decided and recommended to cut all the grant, which was £105,000. And on top before, we managed to buy the freehold of this building. And there was a special clause which said that in the event Theatro Technis wants to sell the building or has to sell it, Camden has the first option to buy it back. So he wanted to force us economically to sell it so that he can give it to the other group. But he forgot that we started in a garage. And then in a railway shed. So with our friends and relatives and families, we managed, Steve was there, David, Miriam, managed to keep it going. Meantime, the group that he has created was dissolved, and he himself was disgraced because he burned his fingers getting involved in the Cypriot politics. David told me a story. You want to repeat a story, David, of the Turkish ambassador went into the Camden leader's office and banged his hand on the table to stop meddling in international politics. Don't raise the Cyprus flag. And that's the time when Thatcher in power, and one of the foreign officers visited the leader's office and repeated the same thing. Recently, David this year approached Frank Dobson MP and other MPs to try to reinstate the Cyprus flag at the town hall. Well, that is not a bad idea. How can I achieve that?
By increasing the lobbying pressures from now on. Given that Cyprus has become the president of the EU, I think the issue of the significance of the flag of the Republic of Cyprus within an EU context, I would argue, is one where Britain should honour what the EU position is.
A crime was committed against Theatro Technis.
Indeed.
Which needs, like the crime in Cyprus, to be rectified. Idui Rhodos, idui to Bizima. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Thank you very much. The Cyprus issue haunts us all, and will haunt us till the day we die. And it's not a sort of, by not, really the British government has let us down over and over again. And it's with some doubt that although there might be MPs showing interest, is when they are in power, what they do, they shut up. So now we have the wonderful choir and orchestra created by Mr. Victor of Greece, who is now 86 years old, and will entertain us and impress us with their own creation for the rest 3/4 of our research.
Πέμπτη φίλε, Γενική Πρόσωπος Κύπρου, Γιώργο Γεωργίου. Αγαπητοί φίλοι, σας καλωσορίζουμε σε αυτήν την παρουσίασή μας, η οποία είναι και αυτή μέσα στις υποχρεώσεις μας όσον αφορά την πολιτιστική κληρονομιά του τόπου μας. Το πρόγραμμα της απόψινής συναυλίας είναι πρώτα 4 τραγούδια, τα οποία είναι τραγούδια της ξενιτιάς και της προσφυγιάς, αλλά και της ελπίδας. Τα τραγούδια αυτά, η μουσική, την έχει γράψει ο αγαπητός μας μαέστρος, ο κύριος Μιχαηλούδης, και συνεχίζουμε στο δεύτερο μέρος με 8 παραδοσιακά τραγούδια, τα οποία γνωρίζετε, θα τα ακούσετε πολλές φορές, αλλά για τα οποία ο μαέστρος μας έχει κάνει μουσική διασκευή για την ορχήστρα και για τη χοροδία. Έτσι ελπίζουμε ότι θα απολαύσετε το μουσικό πρόγραμμα. Σας ευχαριστούμε και πάλι που μας κάνει την τιμή να έρθετε να μας ακούσετε.
Never dies and carries on. And it's a great joy to have the Michailidis Orchestra. An annual event. But we will end the evening with another annual event. With us we have tonight Ricardo Cupello, who is from Colombia. Ricardo has been with us since the 80s, early 80s, and shows the international aspect of Theatro Technis. Our heart, our roots in the Cypriot community, but our branches spread internationally. All our work, we have people from all over the world coming to perform. And Ricardo, could you get ready to play the harp for us? It's a wonderful performance. We will never miss that. Please stay. The junta, the Greek junta has brought the catastrophe in Cyprus. We know that the Greek junta was instigated by the CIA to get rid of Magarios because he objected to their plans, specifically the actions of plan to divide the island. And I have written one poem which reflects that era. Among the olive groves, the sunburned crops, the bullet-hit stones, the shepherd's flock, the empty theater of Salamis shattered by heavy guns and murderous tongues wait in vain for Sophocles' latest Greek tragedy, Antigone is dead. Prometheus is alive. Aeschylus' cry could be heard over the mountain's tops. Zeus throws his bloody thunderbolts. Troy is destroyed, cried poor Euripides. No more laughter,
said Aristophanes. Alas, Greek fights Greek. Once again, Cyprus bleeds, and Aphrodite weeps. And of course, the junta opened the gates for Turkey to invade. The Turkish fleet makes for Cyprus. An old distant cry of a Venetian sailor ghostly echoed on the Kyrenia castle, and the rough, rocky seashore reached the 20th century senator, his English mediator, his Christian allies of NATO, but remain cool and idle. There, Othello, the valiant noble Moor, trapped by Machiavellian whore, deprived by his mighty roar, could no longer stop the Ottoman invasion. At 4 a.m. on a misty Saturday morning, the 20th of July 1974, the Turks wage a bloody, vicious, ruthless, easy, profitable war. Another year gone by, 38 years altogether. My home is still occupied by the Turkish invader. No matter how much I've cried against the perpetrator, US ignores my plight, treating the aggressor as a noble knight, a peace operator to be nominated for a Nobel Prize by an English European MP or orator, speaking of human rights, defends the armed predator, justifying his war crimes. To use an old metaphor, he buries the truth with lies. He calls me a traitor and him a nice guy. No matter how much I cry, he imposed a de facto situation, a little island to divide my lovely Cyprus. God knows how much I've tried at the United Nations. I spoke about my plight in streets, demonstrations under heavy rain and burning sunlight. Not a single UN resolution has yet been applied. It's so unbelievable. There is still no sign on Mount Bendadactylos, no invaders' flag to fly. Dear old Cyprus, at last to unify. Alas, it needs an act of inspiration beyond the humankind. Ricardo from Colombia.
I'm going to dedicate this song to all of you. It's one of my compositions. I'm sure that you understand that when we are away from our homeland, we feel a bit homesick. So I tried to cheer myself a bit, and I composed this piece when I came to England in 1979. And I composed it to my homeland, and it's called the Farewell Poem. And it has been a little piece that has helped me along around Europe, around England especially. It's the song that I've been playing in all my concerts, and I hope you enjoy it. Thank you. Cheer you up a bit. Now.
must give Ricardo a Cypriot citizenship.
Here, here.
Yes.
Here, here.
I think now that Cyprus has the presidency of the European Union, what a wonderful time to invite Ricardo in Nicosia to perform for his guests from all over Europe.
I would love to.
Because he's a representative of Cyprus all over the world, coming from Colombia. To Ricardo.
Thank you.
On Wednesday there is the lobby of Cyprus. Mr. Delors, you want to say a few words about it? No, I will. Well, it's a very important theme, the enclave, the other heroes of Cyprus who stuck there and has suffered and still suffering. So please do come along and listen to them and inspire us for further action. And I would like to end that Theatro Technis is fulfilling his dream after 2 years of hard work to present a cycle of 5 plays on the Oedipus stories during the Olympics. And it starts on the 31st of July to the 11th of August. And on Saturday, the first Saturday of August, we present the 5 plays from morning till night, and also have food and drinks like the Dionysian Festival. Please do come and join us. Thank you very much.